students. I will proceed with the fifth week lectures. This week we will focus on following topics. It's about file design. We learn the file design sequence and familiarize yourself with the media functional review. Understand record formats and data files. Understand how to organize files. The concept of file is a collection of data records of the same type. That is file. We remind data unit bit. Bit is a binary digit. Say 1 binary number 0 or 1. The smallest unit for expressing information inside the computer. In a semiconductor circuit, current flows on and does not flow off state. The switch is on and off turnover. Example, 2-bit display one of 4 types, 00, 01, 10, 11. 3-bit, 3-digit, one of 8 types of 000 and 111. How many bits do you need to represent 1 or 2, 4 different pieces of information? Correct answer is 10 bits. Next unit is nibble. A nibble consists of 4 bits continuously gathered in a memory space. And byte, a unit that expresses one character with a combination of 8 bits. The smallest unit of data representations. What is the basic unit when information in a computer is stored and computed? That is a unit of memory access. What is a set of constant bytes? 16-bit or 32-bit or 64-bit. A unit of memory information, a certain number of bytes are gathered to form words. Next slide is about the organization of data. The files or organizations. Item or a field is a combination of 1 byte or more. A unit with a specific meaning of 1 word or multiple words. Item is minimum unit of the file. A row is a field, a record, and column is a field. And record is a card containing information about an individual in a combination of more than one items. Record is a set of fields or items related to each other. Record is divided into two types, logical record and physical record. Logical record is a set of related fields. That is a unit of basic data processed in the program. And one or more logical records are organized to form a physical record. But physical record is a unit of block. That is physical input-output unit. Physical record consists of one or more logical words or multiple records. And file is a set of records with the same contents, purpose, and form. The basic unit of a document or program. File is the final unit of data representations. Volume is a set of files on or more disks or tapes. Single volume or multiple files. Everyone, did you understand? Yeah, good. Next picture is shown the hierarchical structure of files. Top of this picture is file structures. Block 1, block 2, block 3, and block N. The middle of this picture is block 3's component. Block 3 consists of record 1, record 2, record 3, and record N. And record 3 has composed of field 1, field 2, field 3, field N. The block is the minimum set of records processed by the program. I mentioned the logical record is a record that transferred between auxiliary storage and the system. Actually, it is called a physical record because physical input-output is done in block units. Physical record is a record processed by user program. Yellow cell is main memory. Main memory is interaction of CPU. Main memory access to auxiliary storage. Just like hard disks. Physical record is transport record. Record is consists of fields. Field is consists of logical record consists of fields. Logical record is unit of processing. This slide is about format of record. Format is first record format is unblocking fixed length record. One logical record consists on physical record, and all records have the same length. A low cost and low processing speed, easy to write program. IBG is interblock gap. LR1 is logical record 1. LR2 is logical record 2. Next format is blocking fixed length record. That is logical record of the same length and are formed in the same number of two forms of block. All physical records have the same length. This is easy to write program. First physical record that is block LR1, logical record 1, logical record 2, logical record 3, logical record 4 is a block. Next format of record is unblocking variable length record. This type is a format that collects records of different lengths and records them as physical records without forming a block. The block lengths and record lengths are included in front of each physical record. This is low economic efficiency, slow speed, and difficult in programming. IBG is interblock gap. BL is block length. RL is record length. Here, the block size is different. The last type is blocking variable length record. This is a format that collects records of different lengths and forms a block. Since the length of each block is also different, the length of the block is indicated before each block, and the length of the record is indicated before each record. This is economical and fast, but difficult to program. Let's move to the next slide. This slide is about file type. Classification types. Classification by media, by contents, by file organizations. First, we review our classification by media. BOT is a begin of tape. Record 1 IRG, inter-record gap, and record 2 IRG, and record N, and last end of tape. Tape width is 1.5 to 0.74 inches. Magnetic tape is definition. The magnetized information is recorded and read by contacting the tape with a magnetic head. Magnetic tape has some advantages: fast time in batch, economical space efficiency, large recording capacity, various types, easy to create, repair, and troubleshoot files. But also has disadvantages. You can go directly to a specific record because it only searches in saved order. And organizing files other than ordering is not possible. Difficult to classify records, which reduce the efficiency of information processing. Non-linear data structure cannot be represented. Have you tried summarizing it? Okay. Okay, next slide. This slide is about magnetic disk, just like hard disk. Magnetic disk configured three sections: track, sector, and cylinder. Track is concentric circles divided into several on the record side. Sector is each track divided into regular sections. Cylinder is a group of tracks with the same change among several disks. Magnetic disk has some advantages. Access time is similar and short regardless of record positions. Sequencer and random processing is possible. It is easy to add, delete, and correct records. It can express both linear and nonlinear structure data, and all file organizations methods can be applied. Also, this has some disadvantages. Address resolution takes time. Poor space efficiency because records are not stored in contiguous space. This picture shown configuration of magnetic disks. Track sector, track, disk pack, 4 disks, cylinder, magnetic disks has data processing times, seek time. It takes for the head of the disk to move to that track to find the materials. Rotational delay time. It takes to find the sector where data is stored as the disk rotates after moving to the track. And data transfer time, how long it takes to transfer actual data between memory and disk drive. Next slide is review of classification by contents. Contents, data file, a data group that becomes the processing object for a program file that contains a series of instructions for processing data. Source data file is an input data file containing raw data on a shareable medium. A master file has a file corresponding to ledger is in document processing. Transaction file created to update or query the master file. Source data file, master file, transaction file. History file is that archive file for data restorations when an accident occurs. A summary file is that aggregates the sums of other files to facilitate aggregation with some files. And last, trailer file is 2 files created by writing the master files as a bidirectional record. Totally 6 files, 6 kinds of data files. And a program file. A program file is a collection of computer instructions that process data stored in main and auxiliary memories. First type is control program. Control programs is program files that control, operate, and monitor the state of computer systems among system programs. And process program file, that is a part of the operating system. This file that allows you to handle various functions required by the system also manages processes. And working file is a temporary file for transferring data created in one program to input of other program. Often used in information processing systems. Input data file that read data. Output data file that records data. A temporary file that are used for subsequent processing by temporarily recording intermediate result. And checkpoint file is in order to prevent the loss of files due to an accident. It is also called a backup file. Checkpoint file called backup file in the form of keeping the result up to the middle of the operations. And classification by file organizations. A sequential organization file. This file is writing records sequentially in a logical order on a file medium. And index sequential organization file is trying to solve the problem of direct access while maintaining the advantages of the sequential file. Next type of file is random organization file. Although it can be processed sequentially, it is mainly used for random processing. Last type is list organization files. This file that maintains relations by related data records are physically separated, but a pointer included in the data record sequentially indicates the address where the data record is stored. This is on list organization files. Reviews items before the file design. Data characteristics, file of characteristics, and file processing characteristics, file reliabilities. First of all, review of data characteristics, amount of information, item name, the number of units in the item, character divisions, array of items, classification of fixed and variable lengths, record size, block size. This slide is about a review of file attribute. File name, purpose of writing, file type, applicable tasks. First, file name. It should be decided by the nature of the files, or the name of the file that is easy to associate with. And writing purpose. The purpose of writing is clearly defined in consideration of the role or necessary of the file. File type is necessary to confirm such as whether the file is a master file or transaction file. Applicable tasks is necessary to decide whether to use the file for a single task or for multiple tasks. And review of characteristics of data items. Unique item names must be assigned to all items necessary for file organizations. The number of digits for each item must be confirmed. You need to determine the order in which to arrange multiple items in the file. Decide on character separation, such as whether the item is a letter or a number. Whether the record is to be a variable length record or fixed length record must be confirmed. You need to determine the record length required to handle the data. In particular, in the case of blocking, the block length must also be determined. Next slide is review the characteristics of file processing. Processing type, processing cycle, update types, number of fluctuating data, and processing time, average activity rate. Processing type is necessary to decide whether to process the files sequentially or random. A processing cycle is necessary to decide which type of file processing cycle will be selected from occasional, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annually. Update types is necessary to determine which of the type of files added, deleted, or inserted, and update rate. The number of fluctuating data is necessary to determine the exact amount of data in the future by considering future fluctuations, including the current amount of records constituting the files. Processing time is necessary to grasp the processing time required for the processing required for the file, and actually grasp the access time required for the inquiry processing, the task that requires immediate processing. Finally, average activity rate is number of transactions divide total number of data in master files. Review of file reliabilities. Sufficient review of file confidentiality and future failure measures. How to build reliability in terms of technology. Reliability construction plan in terms of equipment. Reliability building plan in terms of operation management.